about a western United States road trip. Well, actually it's about the middle 1,300-mile chunk of a larger 5,000-mile road trip made by our friends Steve and Joanne. A trip that meandered over the highways, and I don't mean the interstates, but rather the old U.S. highways, from Marietta, Georgia to Salt Lake City, Utah, and back to Marietta. It took place in September 2017. Okay, here's an overview of our middle portion of the trip. We flew into Denver and met Steve and Joanne, who then drove us the first 10 miles of the 1,300 miles we did with them. Then we stopped, parked, and explored lower downtown Denver a little. From Denver, we went north to the Rocky Mountain National Park. Then we went south to the Royal Gorge Bridge, west to Durango, then visited Mesa Verde National Park. From there, crossed over into Utah and up to Canyonlands National Park. Then it was Spyglass Rock and Arches National Park. Finally, we drove up to Salt Lake City, looked around a little, and jumped into a plane and flew back to Philadelphia. The first place we visited was Denver's famous old Hotel Oxford. We wanted to see the Cruise Room Bar. It's an old speakeasy that opened in the hotel in 1928. The Cruise Room is an exact copy of a bar on the Queen Mary. It has all its original appointments, all designed in Art Deco style. It's only open in the evening, but the manager was kind enough to open it for us to look and photograph in the early afternoon.
Wow. Wow.
The Cruise Room Bar.
Here all the time when you come out here.
Thank you.
So we're doing some decorations
beautiful
in the window right now, but
Are you manager like the restaurant?
yeah, I run all the pictures.
John, no flash photography. We had to have drinks at the other bar in the Oxford. Not a problem. We raised a glass to an absent friend, Ron Marshall, who had passed away earlier in the year. It was Ron who had first told us about the cruise room. Before we left Denver, we took a quick look at the Union Railroad station.
A lot of the old hotels would have those things. Whatever they call it.
Table that's
Yeah, the way they
the lion's head, the
yeah. It's so down.
We then headed for Rocky Mountain National Park. We were an odd group, but we had no yellow brick road to follow.
That first part of November, something like that.
Yeah, we're getting closer to the Rockies. Yes, you start to feel small when we get out here.
Oh, you did. Well, great expanses. Look like a Ponderosa pine, Joe. You see? At that bark. Wow.
Big mountains.
Big mountains.
Where we are. Rocky Mountain National Park.
Yes, we are in the Rocky Mountain National Park, and it's pretty impressive.
It's very different.
Yeah. Yeah, if it's one thing this place has, it's scenery. It's a little bit hazy, though. And yeah, I have a feeling we're up around, I don't know, 9,000 feet. It's chilly. There's Joanne. She's got her arms crossed, and Mary Lynn has her sweater on. Yeah, it's about 50, 55 here.
No, it's warmer than that.
I don't think so. It's chilly. It was 80 degrees in Denver, but it is decidedly chillier here. Let's see whether I have them. There's a herd of elk down there, folks.
You can.
There. The bull elk. Harem. Man, they just blend in so well.
Woke up in the Arlington Inn and Suites. The view out of our window was breathtaking. The Arlington is in Kremling, Colorado, elevation 7,364 feet. The town's motto is Kremling, a town where it's easy to be involved if that's what you want, and just as easy to get away from it all. We got away from it all, but not before we had breakfast at the Moose Cafe, where we were the only patrons not wearing camouflage. Over breakfast, we plotted our course to Canyon City, Colorado, and the Royal Gorge Bridge.
Okay. Mary Lynn, what in the world?
Yeah, what in the world?
Okay,
I have more in another.
let me get in here. Let me look in here. This is day two, and it seems like there's more stuff rather than less. And we haven't bought a thing.
It breathes overnight in the dark in the trunk here.
You got a really big problem now. You can get this down now.
Go look. Hey, just take everything out and we'll repack it. We'll put it all here in the street there and maybe start a little flea market.
God forbid the vodka. We got vodka.
Oh, good. I can have a swig of that along with the V8 and have
Why
a...
did you give me this? I'm not drinking.
Oh, Mary Lynn isn't. I got one. The Aspen's on the hillside there. And we're on Route 24. We're about 30 miles south of Vail. And yeah, it's day 2, Friday. We're headed for Cannon. It's famous for the highest suspension bridge in the country, if not the world. A nice stop to ice down the almond milk.
Oh, you want
No,
almond
no.
milk? Oh.
I just say stock. Okay, the girls in the back here. It's Joanne. There's Mary Lynn. We're just having a nice day. Not really in a hurry. Just enjoying the ride. And Steve is being an excellent driver.
For the most part.
For the most part, except for
Let's
traffic
just see.
circles. He's not really used to driving traffic
We've got
circles.
them now, roundabout. Wow.
Well, Joanne, what's your impression of this spot? What's your impression of this place?
It's spectacular.
Yeah. We got ourselves a beaver dam.
Isn't it something?
And then looks like an abandoned mine. Not sure what they mined there,
That's
but
really
there's
interesting there, Jack.
there's lead and silver and looks like an inclined plane there.
Colorado was big on copper, wasn't it?
And copper, yeah, and coal. And they got all sorts of minerals here. leisure home,
Here's a
building
little-
supplies.
maybe.
Little old motel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. This is not where we're staying, folks. But it's kind of a pretty little valley, and we're on our way to Cannon. It's day 2, Friday, and been seeing a whole
No
lot of
gravel.
different kinds of scenery, but I mean,
Dirt
it
roads
doesn't.
today.
Yeah.
No gravel roads.
We're down at low altitude, and we're breathing a little easier. Horses on the right there, yeah, lots of them.
That's one of the rails.
More close-ups. Oh, you did the windshield looks nice and clean here, except for that one big bug. And the air looks clearer down here. The air is not, they don't have that haziness. Yeah, everything's sharper in the camera anyway. Coming through a pass here. Not real high. But, we've been going steadily down as we head south in Colorado. And tomorrow we'll see a huge suspension bridge, because we're going to go out there, right?
Right.
Right.
You pay the toll, you pay the money.
Do you have to pay a toll?
Oh, absolutely.
Where's that?
Sweetheart, where you
And
think
Cannon.
we're going?
We don't know.
That's in Canyon.
We were,
Oh, nice car.
we were here before. Remember,
I think
we
you're missing
discussed
part
that
of it.
about the Grogat, and then you got the green back there.
How small the cars look in comparison to the size of that rock. Looks like an HO layout. That's for the winter. What do you think you're doing here?
Jack, I know what we're not doing. We're not drinking. There is a bar in there.
There is a bar. There is a bar. I was only kidding
the
her.
girls need to go in there.
Yeah, well, I said have a
Well,
drink
we're,
at the bar.
Walk for the Folks Bar.
Yeah,
Oh no, I see. There's a solid little.
yeah.
There's a little
That
thing
trestle.
right there. Oh, it does a little bouncy thing too.
Yeah, there'll be some wind here. Yeah, I don't see anybody up there in the zip line booth, though. Okay.
Yeah, maybe they shut that down.
Yeah, there it is, way down there.
Big bird.
And that's a tributary to the oh, that is the Arkansas. I thought that was the Arkansas. We were coming up on Route 50.
We did, but then it went. I think we crossed over.
Oh, okay.
Could be wrong.
Yeah, there somewhere. There they are. They just passed. Yeah, that's way. Can't even see the river.
The direct route to Durango is to turn right onto Route 50 out of the Best Western parking lot and drive 250 miles. You're an idiot if you expect that from this group. We didn't even get out of Canyon City when we stopped to admire an old gas station repurposed as a law office. Then came a detour to the Roxy Bottle Shop for a handle of Crown. We treated it like a baby the rest of the trip. We knew that in Utah it would be irreplaceable. Our next distraction was the Magpie Gallery in the small town of Saguache. That's not Saguchi or Saggacha, it's Saguache. We now have hanging in our kitchen a small piece of southwestern art, A small print we bought from the artist, Judith Page. She couldn't have been nicer. And of course, all along the way, we stopped to admire the landscape.
Folks, we're live in the Arkansas River Valley, day whatever of our epic journey. We've got candy bars, so we're rocking and rolling. Everybody's happy.
And this nice little widening of the river, Texas Gulch here, a little up the road from Echo Canyon. That's US 50 down there, following the river.
And we're going into the mountains.
Yep, these are the foothills.
We're going in.
We got to the Iron Horse before darkness set in. At first blush, this motel doesn't seem like anything special, but what it has is location, location, location.
There is a lot to be said to be able to drive up and walk in the door.
In the door. Oh, especially when you have a lot of baggage.
Schlepping.
Well, you don't have a lot of baggage, but you have a fair amount. And the cooler.
We got complimentary.
Many locals recommended Ken and Sue's for dinner, which had a wonderful outdoor dining area. While we waited for our seating, we tuned up for dinner conversation at the bar across the street.
Weekend update. It is Saturday night, and look at, we're hanging around the fire here.
Well, we're actually in the desert. We got the pillar of fire here keeping us so warm.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we thought we'd come to Burning Man.
Burning Joe.
Because I'm terrified of
We're at the Burning Man. I've been wanting to go for years.
I know. Oh, I will go with
Burning Man. We're here.
Okay.
Hi, honey. What would you
Hi, Mary Lou.
Switching gears.
I'm having grouper for dinner.
Oh, you're having the grouper, with the pistachio frosting, yes.
I'm going to get it.
Very good.
Good. That was my second choice. I'm going to have the meatloaf.
Yeah.
No trout on the menu.
You're having the trout. Yeah, that's
No,
good.
they had no trout on the menu.
What are you having?
I'm having soup and salad and bread.
Okay. Ooh, that's a healthy meal. Yeah. Joanne. Yeah, Joanne's going to outlive us all.
McDonald's for lunch.
That's why she wants the Pearls updated quickly.
Yeah, you can tell our stories. I am having Aunt Lydia's meatloaf with a wedge of
Salad.
a wedge salad, yes, of iceberg lettuce,
And
the very best lettuce there is.
let's go into the Wayback Machine. What did your former boss tell you at restaurant?
Oh yes, when
about
it was
meatloaf?
yes, when it was time to make meatloaf, the way he told me I had to make meatloaf, he would say, "Blumberg, go clean your fingernails."
We only had to do 216 miles on the fourth day of our trip, but we also wanted to see more of Durango. We woke up a little hungover to the sound of the 8 a.m. northbound chugging toward Silverton and repacked the vehicle. I know we will disappoint at least one of our party if we don't include some video of the train. Here you go, Steve.
Good morning.
After breakfast at Denny's, we visited the Durango train station and museum.
And then who wears this? That's a huge, big pump. Look at how big that is. That is. And there's another one. This one's a little smaller, but they're big ones.
There was a lot more than gas pumps there, but you get the idea. We eventually got on the road and headed for Mesa Verde National Park. The first thing we saw at Mesa Verde Park was Mesa Verde. At the top it was beautiful and windy.
We are now not at the top, but we are pretty far up. I'll tell you that.
But it was the architecture at Mesa Verde that impressed us the most. While Europeans in the Middle Ages were building stone castles for defense, the people of Mesa Verde were building more impregnable cliff villages, planned communities with apartments, towers, and public meeting places. This around the year 1200. And their artist potters were producing beautiful and useful housewares.
Beautiful over there. That's a big.
There's another one over there. You see the two-level one over there?
Yeah, I mean that's beautiful. That's neat with the truck over top.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that would be. I wish I could get that for whoever had that red Ford truck.
Oh,
Would be cool.
yeah.
Man, that one's got like different levels.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. There's a
that's
color.
really neat.
That's a condo, townhouse.
I guess they would fall.
This wall here prevented the cold air that was coming down the shaft here from blasting into the room, so when putting the fire out, so the cold air would come down here, you'd go around, and then there'd be a hole in the center of the roof, and they'd put a ladder down the center of the roof, and you'd climb up through the ladder.
That's the place here it is. That's a place.
But somehow that ventilation also made smoke go out, right?
Yeah, cold air coming in the bottom.
Yes, roll around and
Rechinking the phone.
From Mesa Verde, we continued west, bound for Utah. Almost everywhere we turned our head, there was a beautiful vista of mesas rising out of the high plains. And where did we see a magnificent rainbow? Over a gas cylinder storage yard. Nearby was a junkyard whose owner had a wonderful sense of humor.
Fans celebrating event here at Sports Authority Field at Mile High. The Broncos ahead of the Cowboys 14-7. 5:54 left in this first half. Ryan Swift, the rookie of North Carolina, back in New York. That's Brandon McManus.
Wow,
Yeah.
like a big
Real,
building.
real close to the Colorado-Utah border here. And we are now in Utah.
Check pick station.
Wide open spaces. Yep, there's a little settlement down there.
Oh, look at this. Look at this. We got to meet on the curve. Jeez, oh man. And he is hauling ass. What are the odds on the curve? You mean that?
I'm telling you, Andy Janovich took somebody off their feet when they under a shot. Right at 47, Anderson gained 4 seconds.
There's more up there. Yeah. That whole layer. There's a box canyon over there. They're wild horses.
There's more over here. Oh, he's a little one.
Oh, neat.
Is that the stallion right there?
Yeah, looks like it. It's his herd.
The scenery through eastern Utah was breathtaking. We visited 2 national parks and several other points of interest. Our first stop was Newspaper Rock. It is covered with petroglyphs, drawings made by carving the dark patina from the surface of the rock. Because the rock very slowly repatinates, the images can be dated. The oldest were made by prehistoric humans. They are approximately 2,000 years old. Following cultures added their own petroglyphs, including the ancient Pueblo builders, the Navajos, and Anglo cultures. Experts argue about what the drawings may mean. No one really knows. Next, we visited another rock, Looking Glass Rock. You don't know rocks until you've seen Utah rocks.
Way to Canyonlands. This is not it, but it's pretty damn impressive.
Wow.
Sir, is this the way to the Holiday Inn Express?
Or your Toyota dealership.
Yes, right. That's right, yeah. Where are we, Mary Lynn?
At Looking Glass Rock.
And how do we get here?
Over a very nasty dirt road.
Was it bumpy?
Yes.
Was it dusty?
A lot of washboard stuff, yes.
Was it dusty?
Glad it wasn't my car.
Did you enjoy that at all? No.
They had my car on that road.
Okay. Well, there. And there is Looking Glass Rock.
I guess the problem is it's just all so surreal. It just doesn't seem like this all exists.
But there. And we're sort of in the middle of a desert here. Some mountains in the distance. Oh, you are the man. Oh, yeah. And Looking Glass Rock is brought to you by Canadian Club Small Batch.
That is pretty damn good.
That is delicious. Oh, that.
Here, Joe, you want a little sweet?
Where are we?
Ooh, Arches National Park.
Yeah, okay.
Outside Moab.
Moab. And it is Monday.
And we got to beat
18th
cleats.
of September.
And we have to beat cleats by 7 o'clock because they're doing road destruction.
Right.
One-lane traffic.
Yes. And any scratches you
And we
put
have-
on a rock will be considered graffiti.
Absolutely. And yeah, what's
Even
that
if
part
you
of
put
it?
them on with your
You
car.
can shoot them. Shoot them.
Oops. There was an orange.
David Copperfield, the man disappeared.
There it is. Which arch was that?
Here, the sign will tell us right here.
It's back where I go now. That's okay. Here, we got it.
The view from the parking lot of our Holiday Inn Express was pretty impressive. But the ride from Orem to Salt Lake City is a trip on an interstate through the valley of the shadow of sprawl, suburban sprawl. In Salt Lake City, we gawked a little when we drove past Temple Square, We didn't know that Beehive House was the mansion occupied by Brigham Young when he was governor of Utah, along with his 19 wives and 56 children. We saw the temple from a distance. We didn't notice the tabernacle. I was expecting a soaring high edifice, but it's a low, rounded building. Despite our ignorance, in the last hours of our trip, we had a revelation, an epiphany. We had thought we were on a tour of the West, when actually we had been on a search, a quest to find the ultimate Western train station. We found it in Salt Lake City. It doesn't even have tracks, but it's beautiful.